Captain America Brave New World has been out for a while now, and this is going to be my spoiler review on the movie. If you haven't seen it yet, obviously go and watch it, then come back here. Also, don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. With that out of the way, let's get started. If you saw my spoiler-free review on the movie, you'll know that I thought it was enjoyable, but far from being perfect.
You've got to do better, Senator.
Believe it or not, I think it has a lot of similarities with Quantumania, which I will explain later on. I'll be talking about the things that stood out to me that I couldn't be able to talk about in my spoiler-free review. First off, yes, this film doesn't have the typical MCU intro that we're all used to seeing at this point. It instead has black and white text that says Marvel Studios Presents. I honestly don't mind this change too much. Like, yes, it does suck that the MCU intro isn't there, but this new intro perfectly matches the tone of the film, as this is one of the more serious MCU projects. I actually kind of want a different intro for every MCU project, not just for the movies, but for the shows as well. Each MCU project has its own unique tone, and the typical MCU intro doesn't match the tone of every single project. The intro would work for a Spider-Man or an Iron Man movie, but it wouldn't really work for something like Fantastic Four First Steps, because that movie has a retro-futuristic tone. Therefore, the intro should match the tone and style of that film. Anyway, at the beginning of the movie, Sam Wilson, who's once again played by Anthony Mackie, has to fight some bad guys and retrieve some adamantium. This action sequence is enjoyable, but not that unique. It was fun seeing Sam beat up bad guys on the big screen again, even though he struggled to because he's just a human. But nothing really stood out to me, like Sam throws the shield and attacks the bad guys the same way that Steve used to and all that, you know? After him and Joaquin Torres defeat the bad guys, President Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, who's played this time by Harrison Ford, invites them to the White House. They bring Isaiah Bradley with them, and once Ross starts talking about how the celestial sticking out of the ocean from the end of Eternals is made of adamantium, Isaiah and a few other guys try to kill him. They all end up getting arrested, and because Isaiah's in prison, Sam decides to go and find out who's been pulling the strings on everything. I like how Isaiah being imprisoned motivates Sam, as I care about Isaiah and everything he's gone through, and I like his and Sam's relationship, even though it's been a while since I last saw the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I would say that him and John Walker were the two best characters in that show. Anyway, Sam later gets attacked by Giancarlo Esposito's Sidewinder, who appeared earlier in the film but didn't really do anything. In fact, I feel like he's wasted like how Bill Murray was in Quantumania. Esposito does have a little more screen time and is a little more relevant than Murray was, but he only appears 3 times in the film, and he only does one thing to move the plot forward. If you cut him out of the movie, very little would change. Sam obviously kicks Esposito's ass, and he and Joaquin head to a hidden black site. During all of this, Ross is trying to negotiate a treaty between the US and Japan to share the adamantium, but it's not going well. I didn't really care about this side plot. I honestly thought that adamantium being in this movie would affect the plot more, but no, it's just mentioned here and there, and that's it. I wish it was a lot more prominent in this movie. This is a huge fucking deal, as this kind of introduces the X-Men and specifically Wolverine into the MCU. I feel like people in the MCU, especially Wakandans, would realistically bring up adamantium every 10 minutes because it's stronger than vibranium, and any country can take it for themselves. Fun fact, in the comics, Cap's shield is made of not just vibranium, but also proto-adamantium, which is obviously a form of adamantium.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock!
Anyway, Sam and Joaquin find a leader who, as everyone already pointed out, looks like broccoli. Seriously, what is Marvel's obsession with broccoli, guys? The leader actually had a pretty decent design before they reshot everything. Yes, he looks ridiculous, but he looks comic accurate, and it's a better design than whatever the fuck this is. The leader then explains that he plans to get revenge on Ross for imprisoning him and blaming the events of the Incredible Hulk on him. You would think that a guy who's supposed to be super smart wouldn't reveal his evil plan to anyone else, but nope, he just straight up tells them. The leader also reveals how he's been mind controlling people with the song Mr. Blue, which is a clever callback to the Incredible Hulk, as that was what Bruce knew him as for the first half of that movie. Speaking of Bruce, he should have been in this movie. 2 of his villains are here, but he isn't. Like, Marvel, what are you doing? First, you had Kang go up against and lose to Ant-Man of all people, and now this? I know that Marvel can't make a solo Hulk movie because of rights issues, but Bruce could have easily been a major supporting character, kind of like what Doctor Strange was in No Way Home. Anyway, Sam and Joaquin fight the leader's henchmen, and the short Black Widow comes to help them. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention her earlier. Probably because, like Sidewinder, she doesn't do anything and can easily be cut. She could have been replaced with literally any other Marvel character and nothing would change. Sam figures out what the leader plans to do to Ross, and him and Joaquin head over to Celestial Island, where the US and Japan are fighting each other, trying to take the adamantium for themselves. Once again, the adamantium should be more relevant to this movie. While trying to stop the US and Japan from fighting each other, Joaquin gets injured and is sent to a hospital. While Sam is there, Bucky comes to visit him. I'm glad that Bucky's still in this movie, even though he's just in this one scene. He's an important character to the Captain America side of Marvel. He's obviously Steve Rogers' best friend, and he did actually become Captain America at one point in the comics. I actually kind of wish he was in more of the movie, as him and Sam bounce off of each other really well. They're a better duo than Sam and Joaquin, that's for sure. Bucky basically tells Sam that he deserves to be Captain America. I don't really understand why Sam thinks he doesn't deserve to be Captain America in this movie. He already went through this arc in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We don't need to see that again. Bucky's also a congressman, apparently. We're probably going to see this in Thunderbolts based on what we've seen in the trailers, and I'm really excited to see that movie. The leader lets himself get arrested for whatever reason, and President Ross turns into Red Hulk at a press conference. Secret Service then starts shooting at Red Hulk, which is stupid for two reasons. One, why would they start shooting at the president? And two, why would you try and shoot a goddamn Hulk? Like, they're practically... Sam shows up to fight the Red Hulk and gets his ass handed to him. No surprise there. So to defeat Red Hulk, Sam has to calm him down and turn him back into Harrison Ford. I honestly prefer this than Sam just randomly locking in and kicking the Red Hulk's ass. Once again, Bruce should have been in this movie, so he would have been the one to calm Ross down, because if anyone knows what Ross is going through right now, it's Bruce. Ross then resigns from being the president and gets sent to the raft where his daughter Betty shows up. She also could have been the one to calm him down for obvious reasons. Sam goes to see Joaquin, who's getting better, and visits the leader, who's locked up in the raft as well. He warns Sam about the multiverse, and that's it. This post-credit scene was pretty pointless and is one of, if not the worst post-credit scene in the entire MCU. Since this movie's more grounded and realistic, or at least it tries to be, it doesn't match the tone of the movie at all. It also feels very repetitive, like we already know the multiverse exists, and we have 2 shows and 3 movies that are about it. So yeah, this post-credit scene feels very unnecessary and out of place. Cap 4 overall is a bit of a mess. I still enjoyed parts of it, and I still like Sam Wilson and Anthony Mackie as him, but this isn't a Captain America movie. It's a Hulk movie without the Hulk. If they brought back Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner for this movie, I probably would have liked it more, even though he's Smart Hulk. You could have even used this movie to tease the real Hulk's return. But they didn't, for whatever reason. Also, remember how I said that this movie was similar to Quantumania at the beginning of the video? Both came out in February. The Marvel movies that released after them come out in early May of those years and are about a team. Both have strong supporting characters as the leads. Both have OP villains that the heroes shouldn't be able to beat. I would say that Brave New World is still better than Quantumania, but it's definitely the weakest out of all the Captain America movies. I wanted to like it, but it had a lot of problems. If you like the movie, that's fine, but I just thought it was okay at best. Anyway, that's all for this video. If you guys liked it, don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace!